Welcome to the Boot Room YouTube. After another intriguing weekend of Premier League action, we're here with Emile Heskey. And it was a very important win for Leeds United. A couple of dodgy results for them, a couple of 4-1s, that frustrating draw last week, but they seem to have found a match winner in Rafinha, who can turn a draw into a win. How impressed have you been with him so far?
Yeah, he's very direct, exciting player. He's the sort of player that fans love because, again, he gets you off your bum. He drives at defenders, commits them. Very sharp, very quick. I think he's the sort of player that you want in your team. Is the sort of player that you don't really want to be playing against.
Yeah. He seems like an upgrade on the people who've come before as well, because he's quite similar in Helder Costa in the way that he likes to carry the ball and he likes to run at defenders, but you can see he's got those rough edges a little bit more smoothed out. And he came from a team who've qualified for the Champions League last year, so he's come with a lot of pedigree. Yeah,
look, I think like you're saying, he looks pretty similar to what they must have a certain category of players that they put all into one basket, and then when one goes, they go and pick another one out and bring him on the pitch. And like you're saying, I think as well he's got a lot of energy, both going forwards and back, which you need in a Leeds side, because again they play 1v1 all over the park, where it's tough for players doing that. So the energy that you need, that you have to have, is got to be very, very high. But he's got that little fine edge as well, that little finishing touch that goes with that as well.
Yeah, and that obviously comes in handy, because I think a lot of the frustration last season was that Leeds would dominate games and not take the chances. And we saw last week against Arsenal that just came back a little bit. So it's always nice to have someone who can produce something out of nothing.
Yeah.
But there's talk maybe of the succession plan at Leeds United being underway, because Bielsa is, there's no sign of him leaving anytime soon, but he's mid-60s now. I think his family's back home in Argentina. And there is talk that Julian Lopetegui could potentially be his long-term replacement from Sevilla. What's your immediate reaction to that?
Again, I think you've got to, especially when you're looking at something that Bielsa's actually built, you've got to be looking at someone who's going to take them reins in kind of the same fashion, because you don't want to be going dramatically from that to something else where you're like, it's working with Bielsa. And this is where I think at times, especially when you've got someone like Bielsa who might even be looking at retirement or whatever, can he be helping groom a younger coach of the same ilk to actually, because again we've seen it with we've seen clubs do it, even with the likes of Arsene Wenger. Could he have helped to groom someone to actually take over from where he left off? Because he did such a great job, and he's left such a great legacy that it can fall away if no one knows what's going on.
Yeah,
this is the similar sort of thing that Bielsa's built with Leeds over a period of time, where they're playing some really exciting football, attractive football. Their philosophy is what it is. Can they now have someone to be groomed to take over? And I think they need someone. It would be nice if they could have someone with him.
I think the only criticism for Lopetegui is that his Sevilla team they grind out results, but not particularly with an exciting style. I know there's a lot of criticism of quite a stodgy style of play at times.
It's totally different to what we are used to now. So they're going to go from one to another, and it will take a while for everyone to understand it and to get it.
Yeah, I think maybe
and it's tough, and it'll be even tougher if you're not actually getting the results with it as well.
Yeah, because questions will be asked very quickly. Yeah. And there's certainly a few questions just being asked now of Everton. Another defeat from them. It's after that brilliant start, they've just dropped off. And there's talk maybe of James. You can't really argue with his impact going forwards, but does he fit in defensively? Does he fit into that structure of the team?
This is the thing. I think when you have such a gifted player like Rodriguez, I think you've got to build a structure around his weaknesses.
Yeah.
And this is where you possibly play with two sitting and put him in the number 10 so he doesn't have to do the running that you're expecting him to do, because he's not going to do it.
No.
He just doesn't have that I don't think he's not having the drive or anything. He's just not used to that. We've grown up being used to that graft. He probably doesn't have that. So then you build a team around him, and that will actually hide a lot of his inabilities to actually get around the pitch, like you say, some of your younger players.
Is there a place for those sort of luxury players in modern football, do you think? Because we've seen Ozil drop off at Arsenal.
100% there is. Because, again, they're the ones who are going to, off the drop of a hat, who win you games with something special. Look at the pass he played Fulham away.
Yeah, outside of the boot.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I think there is a case for that. And I think you just got to build a structure around it so it doesn't affect you as much.
Yeah. Well, if there's questions about James, is it maybe a few more answers about Joe Linton, who I think that's his third goal in 47 games. I mean, there was a big stroke of luck in it because it's not going in until Gary Cahill deflects it. But his performance was good. He led the line. He linked up with Callum Wilson, got an assist. Do you think that's maybe a bit of a turning point for him?
I think, yes, I do. And I think having Callum Wilson up front with him has helped him, because it takes a lot of that burden off you as well.
Yeah.
That you have someone up there who's capable of doing that, putting the ball in the back of the net. He's found it tough, and coming into the Premier League is going to be tough. It's relentless and it's unforgiving as well.
Yeah.
We want things in the Premier League yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's been very, very tough for him, and especially when you come with a price tag as well. There's even a bigger expectation as well. So it's tough for him. But and they're the goals that you need. Them ones that scuffed. And then
bouncing off the backside sort of goals.
They're the ones at times, and then hopefully that will give you that little springboard, that little confidence, and the springboard to actually push on. Yeah,
because it seems like they've got a structure now of Newcastle, which will keep their heads above water. They've got a striker who'll score in Wilson. They've got two solid centre-backs, Fernandes and Cher, or Clark or Lascelles. And then at the other end, Carl Darlow has had a really good season. There's talk of potentially an England call-up. Is he one of the breakthrough stars of the season so far, do you think?
I think so. I think when you're looking at Newcastle, it's been a tough season for them. I think Steve Bruce has worked wonders, but he'll never get the recognition, because I'm not sure. When it comes to Newcastle, I'm thinking it's because he did so well at Sunderland and managed Sunderland. But even though he is a Newcastle fan, and then as well, I think the style of play. But you can only really go off the style of play off the players that you have.
Yeah.
So you've got to say that he's worked wonders, and Darlow has been one of those finds that has get up.
So I imagine their fans would have been terrified as well when Dubravka was out injured, because he was a real talismanic presence last season. But just to find someone you've got on the bench who can come in and do exactly the same job must be a massive boost to the team.
But again, it's for the players as well. Again, he's took it upon himself now to give the manager a headache.
Yeah.
Because the manager won't want to drop him, and I don't think you can drop him.
I think he said as well, Darlow. He said if he got dropped back when Dubravka was back in, he would consider his future. So that does make life a little bit difficult, but you can understand where Darlow's coming from, because he's 28, 29, and you don't want to be wasting too many years.
100%. I know they say goalkeepers play for longer, but again, you're in your prime. You're playing well. You're getting the confidence of your back four, back five in Newcastle sense, and you're being tipped for England. So why should you be dropped?
Yeah.
And you've got to give. And this is not just for him, but this goes for all the players. When you come in as a what they say, a backup, or you're coming in from off the bench, you've got to make a difference. If you're not making a difference, then you can't complain when the manager doesn't put you in the starting lineup.
Yeah. Well, we'll make a little journey from Newcastle to Sunderland, who, for the second time in a year, find themselves without a manager after what feels like a 2000th 1-1 draw since the start of last season against Fleetwood Town on Friday. Phil Parkinson got sacked, and there has been talk of Nigel Pearson coming in, maybe with Kevin Phillips as an assistant. What would your reaction be to that?
Positive. When you're looking at what Nigel Pearson has to offer, and Kevin Phillips, because Kevin I'm sure he was at Leicester for a little while as well as a coach. When you're looking at what their pedigree and what they have to give, they've I'm sure he's won the League One Championship as well. He's come up through into the Premier League. He's taken Leicester from League One all the way to Premier League. So he's pedigree of doing it. Arguably, he will say that his team won the Premier League as well.
Yeah.
So he's got all the accolades there, and he understands what it means. It means to be playing for that club and to be fighting and getting out of that league. So I think it's a positive one. But again, the club's in a really bad place. No director of football, manager. They've just got all the departments that you need. They've got no one in them departments.
No,
it's sad to see such a big club in my eyes. I remember playing it against Sunderland, even from a young age. Michael Bridges was playing for them at the time, and such a big club going where they are and really getting bogged down in that fight in League One.
Yeah. I think it does show that they still have that size and stature that they could maybe think about hiring someone like Pearson, because he was a Premier League manager only a couple of months ago. So it would be a massive coup, wouldn't it, to get him in?
Yeah, definitely. And again, I think he went to Leuven as well. Leuven for a little while. But yeah, I think having someone like that at the wheel is fantastic. But it shows the potential of Sunderland, and people still seeing how big Sunderland is as a club.
Yeah.
That they can still call upon fantastic managers like Nigel Pearson.
Brilliant. Well, hopefully next time we chat, Sunderland will have a manager in place to turn those, thousands of 1-1 draws into a 1-0 win at last. But if you like that video, please like, share and subscribe.